welcome to another Fair Game Pursuits review. It's another torch review. Not sure what it is, but we seem to be getting lots of torches at the moment. And this one is a Brinyte, a T18, and it's designed for hunting. I've got two parts. I've got a mounting system, which is an additional extra on top of the standard one that comes with this, and then the actual torch and some different pills or light spectrum bulbs, LEDs, Cree LEDs by the way, to go with this torch. Now I've part unwrapped it already because this black box, which is inside this blue box, is extremely difficult to get out without trashing the blue box. So I've done a little bit of preparation. You can see even now trying to separate the two is a bit of a challenge. So we'll take that out as well and put those over there. Now then, I've been using this torch for the last few days because I wanted to compare it to the two other torches that I use on a regular basis. And I have to say, my first impressions are very good. It outperforms them in light intensity significantly. So as we open up the box, we have a little user guide, how to separate the modules to replace the LEDs, different colours, and how to charge a battery, and a warranty card. The torch itself, aircraft aluminium, seems to be standard these days, seems well made, constructed well, and it's got a convex lens, which I don't know if that's what's given its intensity or just the LEDs that are behind it. And the pills, if that's the right term, to swap out are a slightly different mechanism to the torches that I've got already. But the other major advantage of this torch is it's zoomable. So not only can we pinpoint the beam into a very specific area, we can actually make it much broader, which is something that a couple of my other torches have claimed to do but don't actually do. So they have the feature for other versions, I think, not the ones I've got. And actually this mechanism's really easy to use, and it's a really good addition to the functionality of the torch. And then we've got another little box with all of the component parts, the remote control, very easy to use, little wrist strap, and then all of the pills. Now, I've got to be fair that I've been sent all of the pills you could possibly think of. So I've got ultraviolet, IR 850, IR 940, red, green, white, and blue. You do have to pay extra to keep getting those additional light spectrums. I've then got a remote control charging cable and a battery charging cable, and that's an interesting mechanism, which I'll show you in a second. And then we've just got some O-ring seals for when we take the torch apart and put it back together. Over time, we're bound to lose some of those seals. So let's have a quick look. The other thing that I talked about was this mounting mechanism, and what I really like about this one is it's magnetic. All right, I've already tried to see if I can fit my shot cam in here, and it fits perfectly, so that's a really useful addition. The magnets are very strong, and it just literally clips up onto your barrel or any other metal surface that you want to, as long as it's suppose a cylinder of some sort, and it holds it firm enough to be able to use it for, adds a huge amount of flexibility. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So I really like that. And these run out at probably about $30, I think. The torch itself is just over $130. I've only got dollar price, and it's not available on Amazon. So you probably have to go to the Brinyte website. I have seen them on eBay. And then if you were to get all of these different pills, I think you're up to about $200 by then. Okay, so first of all, we'll just turn it on. Okay, so we can see that it's actually quite bright, and then I can focus down that beam and open that beam up. And I have to say that it is definitely brighter than my other torches. The remote control, if I turn on the torch and then hold down the power switch for the remote control, the LED's gone off, turn it on, it's now remote control, and I can now control the illumination up and down. So if I put it all the way back up to maximum, turn off the remote control, turn it off at the back, and that's it back on. So it doesn't have lots of modes like the other torch I reviewed recently with the strobe and the SOS. It's more on or off and strength of the beam. But what we now have are green, red, as I said, IR 940, IR 850, ultraviolet and blue pills. I'll test those later on this evening, and we'll get those on camera. We'll turn the IR filter off on the camera this time. And then I say, talking about the charging for the battery, and what happens is you actually plug your charging cable, USB, so back to USB, which is very good, and you plug it into the battery. Great, no problems with that at all. To change a pill, if we have the torch into the widest beam on the zoom, and then we unscrew the cap, this is the pill, unscrews pretty much like you'd expect all pills to, but what's interesting, it's got a flat base, and those exposed conductors then head into those extended pins, and that is what creates the contact. So there's no springs. They do say that you should have the battery removed before changing the pills. So battery back on. There we go. Now in the little booklet there's some technical information. So with this in its focused beam, we're expecting to get 630 plus meters with 650 lumens in the white light. And then if it was a wide open beam, we'd be getting 380 lumens. The red and green are also quoted with 150 lumens maximum on the red and 130 lumens highest in the green, which means that we're then down to 360 meters and 450 meters for each of those. The run time in white light with the single battery recharge is 195 minutes in white light and 370 minutes in red and 400 minutes in green. As you can see, it's IP66 and it's also got a drop proofing of 1 meter, and I assume that's 1 meter onto concrete because that would be the standard industry test. It's small, it's light, I like it, and I have to say that the performance in the white light so far has been very, very impressive. So we'll take it out and we'll do a bit of a night test and we'll see how it measures up with the other pills in the different roles that you might want to use it for. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. Okay, so we're outside. We're 135 meters away from a hedge. I've got my torch put onto the pinpoint beam, so it's the highest intensity, and we're going to now illuminate the hedge. And I can clearly see that with my naked eye, and you can see it on the camera video there. And now what I'm going to do is open that beam to a wide angle. Now I can still see the hedge with my naked eye. It's much more difficult for the camera to discern it, but a bit of post-editing will hopefully show you what it's seeing. So pinpoint beam, very, very bright indeed. Okay, so next up is IR 850. Again, with the beam will be zoomed right in, and we're going to bring it up now. Yep, absolutely perfect. So I can't see that looking away from the torch with my naked eye. If I was to face the torch with my eye, I see a very light red glow, but we can see that hedge perfectly illuminated when we're zoomed in. If we're zooming out, we can still see it just a little bit, and then back in, and that's absolutely fine. Very good. Next up then, IR 940, again zoomed in. Won't be able to see this with my naked eye, so it's all going to be down to the system. So there we go, that's the 940 on the hedgerow, on zoomed in. It's not quite as powerful as the 850. And if I come out, more difficult. So zoom it back in, and there we go. So So back into the visible light spectrum now, and we're going with red light, and we're zoomed in. Possibly a bit more difficult. No, there we are, we're fine with the camera on the red light. Again with the IR cut filter, but with the naked eye that's absolutely crystal clear. And again, if we open that up, still more difficult as you'd expect, but just about make it out. But certainly once we're zoomed in, very, very clear indeed. And the last of the visible spectrums that we're going to do this evening now will be the green light, and then we're going to just return to the white light and use the remote control. But first of all, green light zoomed in, there we go. Quite difficult for the camera to be picking that up, to be fair, but it's perfectly visible in the naked eye along that hedgerow. So finally, I'm now looking at a tree, probably only about 30 meters away. We're zoomed in, and we're now going to switch to the remote control. So that's it turned off. That's it back on with the remote control. And now I can start dimming it. That's all the way. I can see that with the naked eye. Camera's struggling, but then as I brighten it back up, we can just see the effect of the remote control dimming and then increasing the luminosity. Nice little feature. So that's the test from outside. As you can see, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It does what it says on the tin. I should really do a comparison review at some point of this torch and the other two torches, just so you can see how much brighter it is. It's just a shame that even with a good video camcorder, it's very difficult for the camcorder to really show you how well the light performs. But outside of that, you have to take my word for it. It's definitely brighter than my other torches, and I love the fact that I can zoom in and zoom out. That really is a useful feature. I'm not sure if I use the remote control too much. It might come in useful possibly in the IR modes if I'm trying to do some videoing. But what I do like is the remote control for controlling the brightness of the beam. What I really like is this attachment to be able to mount it pretty much anywhere, but also to use this mount on other gadgets that I might want to fix to my rifle. So thanks for watching. If you like this and the other reviews and the other videos that we've done, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the like button, and subscribe to us on our website. There's no costs involved. All we'll do is give you early warning of any other videos and articles and recipes that we're bringing out. We send out a weekly newsletter, so you'll definitely get a heads up of what's coming the following week. But until next time, keep safe.